What's going on, guys? Got a bunch of changes happening to my garage gym, and so out of necessity, I kind of built this little mini gym area that I thought this is a perfect opportunity to kind of film this and show you guys what a very small kind of footprint gym in a basement might look like. Say if you don't want racks and weights and stuff like that. I just recently covered the Major Fitness, and there's tons of these all-in-one trainers in the market that are very compact, meant to kind of go in low ceiling basements. Again, featured my friend in a recent video in his finished basement. Those are great, but I know I was in a situation when I first started working out from home, when all the lockdowns and stuff happened, that I did not want to bring weights and stuff on a carpet, wasn't interested in all that stuff. And if you want kind of a low footprint, this is even smaller because now you're not dealing with having weights and kind of getting out of crevices. Not to mention there was not technology necessarily or good machines as options, such as say Speediance Gym Monster, these e-gyms that are out there, to even give you guys that as a potential option. So this space right here, as this kind of mini tour I'm showing with you guys, is roughly the length. I kind of wrote this down from here, from the wall out to here, and I actually allotted for some extra space. I got a note here, it is about 7 feet. And then the distance from the wall, again, out from here, I also allotted from space out there, is about 5 feet. The ceiling from floor to ceiling is about 7.5 feet, or specifically it is 89 inches tall. So very tight quarters. And with the stuff here, you're about to see a workout that I'm going to jump into. I'm sure it's going to be a good workout because I know all the stuff here and what you can do. This covers all your bases. The other reason I kind of wanted to make this video is I was just literally talking to a one-on-one online client yesterday who's in a situation that many people are in that I always forget about, that this person had a total gym, they had some power blocks. We were talking with other equipment. He said, like, I'd like to get more equipment. I just got a small, apartment type space he was in. Talked with a lot of people who have studio space. So the idea of like a multifunctional rack that's going to take up a lot of space, they can't collapse, is just not interesting to them. That person did not know about this product. And I'm not trying again to shill this thing. Ironically, though, these guys do have like their 4th anniversary sale going up. They did feature me in one of the videos, which I appreciate that. I don't know what even my kickback or promo code is. I'll put it down below if you guys are curious. But the point was, 4 years ago, this stuff did not really exist. And even in their promotional video, I just saw this just before I hit the record, I was looking at it. They had people featured who had a Speediance and a Total Gym. And I almost made a whole video comparing this to, say, a Total Gym or some sort of all-in-one collapsible type of workout piece of equipment that was not a squat rack based system. Maybe I'll say that for another video. Point is, I don't think people realize that there is stuff that is out there. Of course, there are pros and cons. This thing is electronic. Other gyms would have, be non-electronic. I've heard nothing but good things so far about this thing lasting. And someone said, well, what if there's a power outage or something like that, or a power grid shutdown? And I say, if we're at the point now where we're worrying about electrical shutdowns and rolling electric currents and stuff like that, then I think we have other things on the top priority that we're gonna really be worried about. So I'm not too concerned about that. So I thought I'd just break down kind of mini tour of what I'm working with here and why I think this is such a good setup. And I'm not saying to use these exact things. You can find replacements and certainly cheaper options. I'll put some down below, but some of these are very cheap. I just had these handy because I recently reviewed them. Of course, there is the Speediance, which basically allows you to do anything that a functional trainer could do with cable machine, benching, squatting, even belt squatting. You're gonna see me do that here in a second. Works out great. I guess the pushback is always, well, it only goes up to 220 pounds. I certainly feel challenged enough, especially in the lower body where it counts, that yes, I could do more, heavier squatting or heavier deadlifting. If I slow that pace down and train to like the high intensity to failure, this honestly does the job. And for upper body stuff, I don't think most people are gonna be needing a heavier weight load than that. So there is this thing. It also collapses, gets out of the way. I didn't mention that a lot of the stuff here, you could actually, if you really wanted to, collapse this, and I got a storage room right there. I could just move this out of the way if I really wanted to. It would probably take, probably 10 minutes. This thing has wheels, all sorts of stuff. Adjustable dumbbells now are pretty affordable. That's something else that's, I think, is the market's kind of shifting in our favor to give you more options. Just covered these recently. These go up to 11 to 88 pounds. I'm not trying to plug these ones. If you want to see them, check them out. These are up like $400-ish. And of course, there's other options on Amazon too that are great, that are not this kind of big bulky design. But just showing you, there's adjustable dumbbells would certainly complement what I'm about to do here. A pull-up bar dip station I think is good. You might say, well, that's kind of excessive with the footprint you're working with this. But the downside to like the Speediance or some of these e-gyms, you get no vertical pull option kind of happening. You can get really creative as far as loading weight belts, resistance bands for added assistance. Just your body weight alone is honestly probably challenging enough for most people. So that works out. And even though this one's kind of pricey, I covered this a while back. I can link that review down below if you guys are curious. This thing breaks down. It can be traveled, transported and stuff like that. You can find tons of options on Amazon now that are really affordable, collapsible dip pull-up bar stations that also work with a low ceiling. And then other odds and ends stuff that just, I don't want to clutter too much stuff for the sake of just making this a compact area. You got a resistance band area here to do things like, whatever you want with resistance bands. You guys know I like resistance bands. Got a little Mac board there. Put that in there for a shameless plug because those are almost sold out of this last run. Don't know how long Mac's going to keep making those. My neighbor puts a lot of time into those. I'll link those down below for resistance bands. Just threw the ab mat in there. I always like the ab mat. Haven't used that in a while. And then even over here, I didn't want to, just for the sake of I had it, I thought I'd show it to you guys. Even cardio equipment now is pretty crazy. This is the walking pad. It's a little more expensive. I covered a review of that. But on Amazon, there are tons of collapsible treadmills that you can take advantage of. So just showing you guys, this is a very tight, one of the tightest footprints that I can think of that not only is small, but I would say argue is one of the best, I would think, footprints. This is what I personally would pick, honestly. If I was designing like a very small footprint basement gym, I could do a lot of damage here. It is not perfect. There are some other things I would like to have, like say leg extension, leg curl type stuff specifically. But this definitely beats the traditional small footprint of like a bench and just adjustable dumbbells and maybe a pull-up bar station. You got everything here now with the way the market is right now. Of course, this is a little bit pricey if you were to buy all this stuff, but thought I might as well just share it with you guys if you're eyeing things maybe kind of piecemeal or just some things you weren't necessarily aware of, which I think some people are not. Any questions, comments, feedback, everything featured in this video will be down below in the description box. I'll see you guys on the next one.